This is The Gorge. It's a podcast where my friend Sarah and I gorge ourselves on what's happening in the world of video games and entertainment.
The Gorge is brought to you by Patreon. That's patreon.com/thegorge, where for just $5 a month you gain access to not one, but two entire podcasts. I almost forgot how to do this intro. I'm really tired today. $5 gets you Takeout, a monthly commentary track, where I promise I know what I'm doing. And Ben and I decide we're, like right now, we're too tired to play something. So we just sit down and talk over it instead. And $2 gets you Praetorium Pals, a monthly series where Ben, Saturn, Oates, and myself just pick the MSQ roulette in Final Fantasy XIV and start talking for the duration of the MSQ roulette and say some of the most insane things you'll ever hear any four individuals say while playing video games. It's really good. It's a lot of fun. You should come check it out. That's patreon.com/thegorge. $2 also gives you the entire back catalog if that's hell you're walking into. You know this spiel. Yeah. Patreon.com/thegorge. I know how to do this intro. I've only been doing it for 6 years.
I know. Well, we've been doing this intro for like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
We've been doing other intros previously.
We've been trying a lot of intro. The point is that I could do this intro in my sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Or so I thought. But I suppose I actually can't do this intro in my sleep. So, oops. Okay.
It's the end of the month, so what have you been up to?
I actually played and finished Hi-Fi Rush.
Yay!
Yeah, we were supposed to do an episode about it, and then, as usual, my life happened. I'm sorry. Do you want to do, like, an episode about it real quick right now?
I mean, we can just talk, like general first impressions, but I still want to do, like, a full...
Sure.
I think it's worthy of a full episode.
I think it's worthy of a full episode. Hi-Fi Rush is incredible.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Hi-Fi Rush is incredible. It is, I guess it's still not Devil May Cry 5. Nothing can still top DMC 5 because I think like it's so close though. Like it gets it, but not quite.
What I think is gonna happen is Hi-Fi Rush 2 will be the jump from DMC 1 to DMC 3.
I agree completely because it's so close. My biggest complaint, and we'll talk about it more in the episode, is that everything overstays its welcome a little too much.
A little bit. The actual the encounters and like the platform between them are just a little too long.
Every boss fight, and I was looking it up to like kind of confirm it's not just me being bad. Mm-hmm. Every boss fight takes like 10 minutes.
Yeah, they are pretty lengthy.
That's about 3 minutes too long.
Yeah,
I think.
It's not like egregious, but it's just a little bit, bit too long.
You start to feel it, you know what I mean? Like toward the end of it, because like that's part of like what makes DMC 5 so incredible, right?
Yeah,
is that like its pacing is immaculate. Like it is it is such a finely polished experience that like nothing ever overstays its welcome. Nothing ever lasts too long, right? Like, everything lasts exactly as long as it needs to last. Hi-Fi Rush, you could probably shave 20% off of every single thing in the game, right? Mm-hmm. Like, every level could be 20% shorter. Every fight could take 20% less time. And I think it would get way higher up there. As it is right now, it's great.
Yeah.
Like, it is genuinely great. But... that is, like, my one major thing. I was just feeling it the whole time. Just like, okay, I feel like we should have been done already, right?
Just like I didn't need to kill these last 3 enemies.
Right, this last encounter doesn't even need to be here. Mm-hmm. Why does this boss have 3 health bars? Yeah. Right? Things like that. Otherwise, fantastic. Game looks great, sounds great, plays great. Like, it's great. It's great. Yeah. We can talk about it more in depth, but like the short version of Hi-Fi Rush is phenomenal. Like, fantastic game.
anyone who likes a character action game should pick this up. Like,
yeah, I definitely think so. I think it's very, like, it's doing a lot of smart, cool things. And it's just like, it's really fun. It's just such a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
Especially, we'll talk about it in the news. I assume Rocksteady, the Suicide Squad debut is somewhere in the news.
It's somewhere in there, yeah.
Okay.
We'll cover that.
It's such a breath of fresh air in the face of things like that, right?
Yeah.
Like, to where it's so concise and so just knows what it's about and is only about that one thing and is not trying to be the game that devours your life, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's fantastic. That's really all it boils down to.
Yeah. I have a lot of things to say about it, but I want to save it for the episode. But, like,
yes.
Bottom line, I can't wait for Hi-Fi Rush 2.
Hi-Fi Rush 2 will be one of the greats if they do it right.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's kind of it. Other than that, I mean, I'm still stuck in the Fallout mines.
Yeah, I don't.
Help.
I fell. So I was digging in the Fallout mines, and then I hit a cave-in and just fell deeper and deeper into the Fallout mines.
Yeah. But the problem is that, like, it's like an inverse. The closer Starfield hypothetically gets, the longer I spend in Fallout mines, right? Like, because, like, my brain is like, it's so close, you gotta get this all out of your system right now, right?
Yeah, like, because the odds of us going back to it are not very high, depending. There's a chance
on what Starfield is, right?
There's like the best possible scenario is that Starfield is really, really good and we both love it and we still feel the urge to occasionally go back to Fallout 4.
Correct.
The worst case scenario is, well, Starfield isn't very good and I'd rather just go play Fallout 4 again.
Yeah. Oh no, we're back in the Fallout mines for another 5 years. Shit. Everybody who listens to this podcast, I think about this constantly. I think constantly about the fact that this podcast launched with Fallout 4. Yes. Right? It launched with Far Harbor. And, like, I'm sure at some point the people who listen to this show are like, they're gonna stop talking about Fallout 4 eventually, right?
You know what's crazy? You know what's fucking insane to me?
What?
We've talked more about Fallout 4, a game both of us have been on the record of saying is not very
good,
than we have our respective favorite video games.
I know, that's the thing. Because when something is, like, on the cusp of being good, and this in and of itself is a conversation we've had like 10 times on this show.
Yeah.
But when something is on the cusp of being good, that is more compelling to talk about than something that's just good.
Yeah.
For example, the Hi-Fi Rush episode will be about an hour and 20 minutes long, and we'll probably never, unless some DLC comes out or something, right? Mm-hmm. We'll probably never talk about it again. Like, right. Even though we're both like, yeah, it's a good video, okay.
Until, like, another character action game comes out and be like, it's not as good as Hi-Fi Rush.
Not as good as Hi-Fi Rush. Exactly. Like, the problem is that Final Fantasy 16's got to come out this year, and if it can't beat, like, Hi-Fi Rush, oh no. Oh no. Because it's also trying to be a character action game,
Like, I'm thinking about it. I was thinking about it recently. I was like, okay, we got Hi-Fi Rush. Like, I'm already thinking about, like, Game of the Year stuff. And I'm like,
sure.
Well, Hi-Fi Rush is going to be on the list for sure. And Pizza Tower is probably going to be on that list. And, like, RE4 Remake will be on that list. Holy shit. What if 16 doesn't make it on the list? Because everything else that just comes out is better.
16 is just so, like... 16 can only be great or just awful. Right?
We're gonna either say 16 is one of the greatest FFs of all time, or we're gonna be like, it's not as good as Hi-Fi Rush or Resident Evil 4 Remake.
Yeah, the problem is that, like, it's trying to be a character action game. Anyways, the point is, we got distracted. Yeah. The point is that, like, Hi-Fi Rush is good, but until we talk about it in Game of the Year, it'll
be done.
We probably won't talk about it anymore. The problem is that, like, Fallout 4, there's just, like, there's so much, there's layers. There's so much to, like, still come back to and talk about and be like, yo, but this could have been great. With, like, a few tweaks, it could have been really good instead of bad. And, like, the thing that always makes me insane like, the thing that drives me the craziest about Fallout 4, and the reason I keep coming back to it, because it, like, haunts my dreams, is that we know it's capable of being good because we both played Far Harbor.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, we started the podcast with Far Harbor, and it's like, oh, but this could have been good, though. Like, this could have been good. You had the capability this whole time.
You knew, and even playing 76 and being like, hearing the dialogue and like the actual situations that's going on, it's like, you could have done this.
You could have done it. And again, the crazy thing about 76 is that, like, textually, despite all of its problems, it's still, like, mechanically better than Fallout 4. But the stuff that's actually happening in the game, I don't care about as much.
Right.
Like, the bones are there for it to be great, and it's not great, and because of that, it'll probably make me insane until Fallout 5 finally comes out and is either awful, and I'm still playing it for 2,500 hours. But
we need one of these games to be either really, really good or really, really bad.
That's correct.
That's the only thing that can break us out of the
That's the only thing that can save me right now. I need Starfield, because Starfield looks like it has the bones. It has the correct bones, right?
Right.
And so it could be great. Even if, like, it's super busted, the bones could be better. And that alone could, like, make it better than Fallout. But then also there's a part of my brain that's like, yo, but what if it's just like the Fallout aesthetic? Like, what if I actually am actually that peanut brain chimp and I'm just only becoming aware of it now that Starfield is out, right?
Yeah, like, that's like my thing with, like, when people suggest I play other, like, like visual novels or like point-and-click adventure games that aren't Phoenix Wright.
Right.
I'm like, well, no, it turns out the thing I like the most about it is the writing style and the characters of Phoenix Wright.
It's the Phoenix Wright trappings. It's not really the adventure game trappings.
Yeah.
Right? Like, those are two different things. And it turns out that first part's actually way more important than I realized. Mm-hmm.
Like, do I like point-and-click adventure games, or do I like Monkey Island? Do I like roguelikes, or do I like Hades?
Exactly. Do I like open world endless RPGs, or do I just like Fallout? You know?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, maybe we're gonna listen, dear listeners, all of these answers and more will be revealed to you when Starfield finally comes out at some point this year, maybe, God willing.
Please look forward to our first 5-hour-long podcast episode.
It's true. We're just going to have to park ourselves in front of our computers one day and just, like, crack our knuckles and be like, all right, let's do this. You know? Like, we have to get out of our system.
We have to put in for, like, a half day of work each so we can, like, actually have the hours we need to record.
To not just to have the time to record, but to, like, physically prepare our bodies.
Yeah.
Right? Just lay in bed with, like, your eyes covered with cucumbers, wearing a face mask. Like, okay, I think I'm ready for the Starfield episode.
Mm.
Like, it's the only way.
Yeah.
So, yeah. This is a lot of words to say that I'm still trapped in the Fallout 4 minds. Have we talked about the bleachers yet on the episode? Other than just, like, it's good?
I think we mentioned it a little bit. Yeah. Of the mods that we've downloaded, the bleachers is probably one of the best, narrative-driven mods I've downloaded.
The bleachers is extremely good. Like, the bleachers is very, very impressive, actually, just in terms of art assets and voice acting and writing and story being told. Like, it's all really well put together. Like, Forville we've talked about before, where it was good, but felt kind of bland because this guy's, it's obviously not his, like, interior design and stuff is obviously not his forte. So, like, it kind of felt unfinished in a lot of ways. So far as I can tell, the bleachers does not have any of those problems. Like, it doesn't feel unfinished or I mean, it's really impressive how incredibly lived in all of the spaces feel and stuff.
They do a good job of decorating the environments that the expanded environments you go to. all of the characters are very intriguing backstories that are like directly tied to other things in the game that like in a way I haven't seen other DLCs, other mods do in like a way that isn't kind of like fan servicey.
Yeah, it's just kind of like mentioned in the background. It's all just kind of like offhandedly mentioned that like, you know, they bring up McDonough and they bring up stuff happening in the Commonwealth, right? They bring up Piper, things like that.
Yeah.
And like, it's like, oh, okay, so this all feels very like part. The only way that you know it's not like part of the game is one, the writing is better.
Yeah.
And two, the interior like spaces are also just better.
Better, yeah.
They just look nicer too. It's like, oh, this is just good. Okay.
But like the thing I can say the most about what I like about the Bleachers is that it feels like it was written by someone who really likes Fallout 4.
Yeah. Somebody who actually likes Fallout 4 despite all of its problems. It's like, oh, this is kindred spirit. Okay.
Yeah. Like, because
somebody else who gets it. Yeah.
I also like was like dipping my toe into Project Valkyrie.
Ugh.
Yeah. And it's nowhere near as good as the Bleachers.
No, it's not.
It feels so like cynical
and mean.
Yeah. Mean-spirited. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it just feels cheap and mean and like fan servicey, you know, like in a not fun or endearing way. It doesn't feel like the people who made it actually like the game. And it's like, you know, I get it. A lot of people don't like the game. That's fine.
Right.
That's fair, you know, but like the people who are still playing mods for Fallout 4 in 2023 really like Fallout 4.
Yeah. We're here because we like the game.
we still like this bad video game a lot. Like, this is the best 6 out of 10 that's ever come out, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, so you can't really, like, I think being mean-spirited about, like, all of that is just, it's kind of a misunderstanding of the type of people who are still playing this godforsaken video game.
Yeah.
So, you know... And, like, the Bleachers is just good. It just feels, like, very lived in and nice, and there's a lot of likable characters, and there is one, like, throwaway line that makes fun of how kind of hackneyed the Institute is, but it's in, like, a way that, like, you're nodding along with it, like, yeah, that's correct.
The way they do that joke feels like the way that The Evil Within 2 had that joke where they're talking, like, there's evil out there! Yes, but there's evil within too,
and they both look characters directly at the camera.
Yeah,
yeah, it's great.
Like that feels like when they're like, this feels like a hacky video game script.
Yeah, and then they just move on from it, and it's like, perfect, you get it, you understand, great.
But no, I really like everything about the Bleachers, and it is funny where I'm like. One of the points in the quest, like it's like go to Nuka World to progress the story, and I'm like, well, shit, I better start Nuka World then.
I gotta start Nuka World then. I was planning to put that one off, but I guess I'm starting Nuka World now. Yeah. Okay, so yeah,
I really really like that. The botanist, what's her name?
McClintock.
Yeah, I like that she's from Vault 114.
Yeah,
that's a cool thing to have like your character be.
Yeah,
you know?
She's cool. Yeah, she's from 81. She's
or 81, not 114.
114 is the gangster one. It's the one to find Valentine in. But yeah, no, she's literally just from 81. She moved out, and it's like, that's a cool like little character detail thing. I like that they make a point to like give Lily a boyfriend in the Atom Cats and stuff like that. There's just like a lot of cute little character traits and stuff in there. It's great.
That makes them feel more integrated in the world.
Yeah, like they're actual people with like lives outside of the mod zone. You know?
Yeah.
It's really good. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I have been enjoying it a lot. I need to finish it. I know the sequel just came out, so I'm looking forward to that a lot.
Yeah.
And yeah. The dinner scene in the Bleachers is like one of my favorite things in Fallout 4 now, which is crazy because it's like a modded thing. It's like, this is awesome.
But they
10 minutes of unbroken conversation.
But it's so I was expecting like the fucking FF14, like when you sit down, several cutscenes will play in sequence.
Yeah. But it's literally 10 minutes of just unbroken, and like I hope this sells somebody out there listening, on this, because it feels like somebody in this audience's thing. It's 10 minutes of unbroken conversation that has nothing to do with the main plot of either Fallout 4 or the Bleachers. It's just a bunch of characters eating dinner and talking politics and their lives.
Yeah,
that's it.
But it's so interesting.
It's just so interesting because you get to kind of be the new weird friend, because it's literally just oh hey, yeah, me and my friends, we have dinner every Tuesday. We have a little friendly get together. Mm-hmm. So do you want to join us? And it's oh yeah, sure, I'll show up for dinner. And you do, and you're just the friend, the new friend, where they're kind of sorry we keep not including you in conversations, but we've all known each other for 10, 15 years and stuff. And it's yeah, this is great.
It's so cool.
It's good. It's really good. So
the Bleachers is one of the best. It's a requirement going forward.
It's extremely impressive. Yeah, I'm actually really sad I put it off for as long as I did, because I was it can't be that good. I'm wrong. It is that good. So, but yeah, that's kind of it. Other than just kind of getting by, living. You know how it is.
I get that.
Anything else from you?
I did a couple things.
Gimme.
They're all kind of small. I haven't really been playing a whole lot. Mm-hmm. Just because I've been trapped in either the Fallout mines, FF14, or I've been practicing my Cold Shadow speedruns.
Yes.
Because GDQ is coming up, and I was hoping I could get qualified for that, but it looks like it might not be happening.
Oh. Well, keep trying.
Yeah, there's always next winter.
Yeah, exactly.
I did set a PB, which was pretty cool. I shaved a minute and a half off my time recently.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. But besides that, the first chapter of JoJo Lands came out.
Oh, yeah.
The first chapter of part 9.
I love this fuckboy, JoJo.
Oh my god.
Jodio is sucks ass. What fuckboy?
Oh my fucking god.
What a horrid little shit. Yeah.
He's 15 years old. And there's this bit where he's doing the narration, and he's look at that guy here. He's bigger than me, he's taller than me, he's stronger than me. But look at him, he's getting knocked over. Meanwhile, I'm like this, and he's surrounded by girls. It's you fucking little shithead.
Fucking prick. Okay.
Oh my god, he is. I love him because he's just everyone's making the joke. He's just the polar opposite of Giorno.
Yeah.
And it's so great.
Great.
We had Johnny, who was the opposite of Jonathan. We had Josuke, who was the opposite of Josuke, and then Jodio's the opposite of Giorno, which Jodio.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He's I never knew my dad, and we're I wonder who his dad could be.
Can't imagine who your dad is, kid. Wasn't it Hal in the server who mentioned that at least in Mexican Spanish, Jodio is also can also be translated as fucker or something that.
Yeah, like shit kid or something.
Yeah, it's great.
It's so far the first chapter is very intriguing. I actually like it a lot more than I did part 8. I like this because it feels so part 8 I didn't like because it felt like everyone was on Valium the entire time.
Oh sure,
just everyone
kind of drifting.
Everyone is so slow and their conversations and they're talking it takes so long for things to get moving. Mm-hmm. And it was just too esoteric. And this kind of feels a bit more back to the kind of era I liked the most.
Sure.
For JoJo. And also Jodio is already a much more interesting protagonist than Josuke 8 was.
Right.
He's such a little asshole. It's great. I can't get over how much of an asshole he is. It's perfect. It's so fucking weird because one of the first things that happen is him and his brother get pulled over, and the cop's like leaning in the window, and his brother is like, "Hey man, can you lean back? I don't want to get COVID." And I just really get punched in the head by that.
You're just like, oh no, they're making references to it in manga now. It sucks.
And like the first thing that, like one of the first bits of dialogue is like the cop pulls him over and his brother's like, "I wasn't speeding or anything, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, you were rocking out to Dua Lipa too much."
Oh no, Rocky, no! I've become so old.
I know.
I've become so old in just the last 5 years. I'm just like, I don't know who any of these people are. I'm really angry that Araki does, though. Good for him, I guess, but also like this is like 70-something-year-old Japanese man knows more about pop culture than I do.
I know.
And I'm like, at least he's on top of it. Good for him.
It's so depressing.
At least Araki seems happy.
But no, I think it's been great so far. It's about a diamond heist. It's in Hawaii. Okay. It's really cool.
Oh, okay, nice.
Dragona is Jodio's brother. Mm-hmm. And he is the narration, and the narration is Jodio himself saying it. Mm-hmm. Is that he's really in touch with his femininity.
Yes, I saw that.
and then it just cuts to him with like just actual tits.
Yeah, no, they're like, and then like the narration is like he has like fat injections in his chest, and it's like, You know how I was joking that Kanoko Nasu is inventing new and unique ways to be transgender without realizing what it is to be transgender. I feel like Araki's a little bit on that shit as well.
I feel like what's
that's not true. Araki knows what it means to be transgender. That's the difference between himself and Nasu. Yeah.
I feel like one of the things that could happen at the end of it is, by the end of the manga, is Dragon being like, "Hey Jodio, I'm trans," and he's like, "What?"
Okay. I've just unlocked something in my mind, and I need you to hear it.
Yes. What is it?
So there's a sliding scale of knowing what being trans is, Japanese author's edition. And on one end is Kanoko Nasu, and on the other end is Hideo Kojima, and in the dead center is Araki.
That makes sense.
Hideo Kojima, who would name a character Hard Mommy, and it would be the sickest, it would be somehow the most offensive and sickest trans rep in any piece of media ever. And like the dead center of that is Araki. Mm-hmm. That's my greater theory of Japanese writers knowing what it is to trans your gender.
My theory is that Dragona will actually legitimately come out as trans by the end of it, or Araki just read that Reddit post that was about like the dude whose brother is like getting cosmetic surgery to get breast implants,
but definitely isn't a girl.
Yeah, but he's like, but I'm a guy. Like I'm not like trans or anything. I just want to look like a girl.
Yeah, and Araki was like,
"That's a good idea.
That's a great idea.
I should put that in my series." I can't really say too much else about it because it's nothing. Only one chapter. It's only one chapter. Like nothing like major happens.
Sure.
The stands so far are fun. November Rain is Jodio's, and it seems to like. It's like a giant umbrella spider that drops raindrops that feel like bullets.
Okay.
And Dragona has Smooth Operator, which seems to be able to slide things. Like he uses it to slide a cop's eyes to the side of his head.
Oh, okay.
And he uses it to slide the numbers around on their license plate so they don't get pulled over again.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Very interesting. That makes sense.
So yeah, very, very cool. Off to a great start. I'm glad because having a drought of not liking Part 8
sure
was really hard to get back into wanting to read this manga again.
Right. It's nice to have it like start so interesting.
Yeah.
To be like, okay, well maybe this will be all right. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very happy I got to make that meme where it's like, it's from Black Dynamite where Giorno's like, I'm declaring war on anyone who sells drugs to the community. And then Chodio's like, but Giorno, I sell drugs to the community.
Great.
The only other two things I did is I started watching Blark and Son on YouTube.
Hello? What?
Blark and Son is a deranged puppet show that was made by Comedy Central.
Okay.
And it is about this crazy old Nam vet and his teenage son, and they are the most deranged looking puppets I've ever seen. I'm gonna show you a picture of them.
You're gonna send me one? Okay. You actually reminded me of something else I watched, but I'll talk about it after you're done.
Yeah. Because they are it's unhinged how weird these fucking puppets look.
Oh, I hate it. Oh my god, I hate it so much.
But it's really, really funny. It's actually like genuinely hilarious. Like you would think like a show like, oh, it's a puppet show on Comedy Central. It's probably like stupid as hell.
Right.
And like horribly like just like crass and like unfunny, you know, like shock value type thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's actually like legitimately like sitcom slapstick comedy because like the whole thing is that like Blark, so it's called Blark and Son because the dad's name is Blark and the son's name is Son.
Of course.
And Blark is like the epitome of embarrassing dad. Like the first episode I watched was Blark or Son like finally has a chance to spend time with the girl he has a crush on alone.
Mm-hmm.
And so Blark has to call in his friend to pin him down so he doesn't burst into his son's room and interrupt their date.
Physically restrain him from like being an embarrassing dad.
Yeah, like he actually ties him up and like the bit is like he ties him to a chair and he's like, "There's one thing you forgot. What's that? I'm already gone." And the camera pulls out and it's a pillow with a pumpkin on it. He calls in a favor at one point to keep his dad out of his room for 30 minutes. And it just keeps cutting back to him like twitching and frothing.
Great. Oh god. Alright, it's pretty good.
It's genuinely funny. I'm really enjoying it.
Great.
His friend, the black guy in the back there, is played by the actor who plays Turk from Scrubs.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What else? The other thing I did was I watched as much as I could of Half-Life Alyx, but the Gnome is Alive.
Yeah, that's like the sequel to the Half-Life VR.
Yeah.
Half-Life VR AI. That thing.
Yeah. And it's really good. It's not as, plot intensive as HLVRAI ended up getting because the premise of it, the framing device is just Wayne Radio TV is playing Half-Life Alyx and the gnome is talking to him the whole time.
Sure.
And I don't know for sure about it, but I think the way they do it is that like the gnome itself is just a text-to-speech program and there are like 3 of the other members of Wayne Radio TV are just typing messages into a Discord bot.
Okay.
So, like, the gnome's personality bounces back and forth between 3 different people.
I see.
It interrupts itself and, like, contradicts itself.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then just Wayne, like, trying to play the game and, like, try to contend with this thing in his ear.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still ridiculously funny, and it is kind of like a nice kind of like palate cleanser cool down after HLVRAI.
Sure.
And hopefully this means they are still working on getting like Half-Life 2 VRAI done. But that's about it, really.
Okay. So I'm Googling it to make sure I'm getting this right. So the other two things I watched that like kind of both took like a night, and I'm only gonna talk about them briefly.
Okay.
Because I am also deranged, and if I'm not playing indie horror games off of ish.io, then I'm watching indie horror shit on YouTube. So I watched Winter of 83, which is another installation in the analog horror genre. That's like the new kind of like the new era of like online horror. Like right now we're kind of going through like an analog horror thing. It was okay. It was pretty good. It's obviously put together by just like a few people with very limited resources. Right. But I like that about it. Like it's already done. It's one of those stories like, it's not like an ongoing thing like some stuff is. It's not Local 58 that puts out a new video once a year. It's like totally done, very small channel, only like 15 videos, I want to say, like really tiny. Just this little story of like a small town in the middle of a snowstorm having its local public access channel hijacked by some unknown force.
Ooh.
And like people in the town being preyed upon by something in the snow. Right.
Oh, okay.
So like really good, just very simple premise, but like easy to watch. It doesn't take long to watch the whole thing. I just stumbled upon it like while, clicking around on YouTube as one does. And I liked it a lot. Like it's really simple. It's got some of like your standard genre trappings of like, why did you record this?
Right.
But like has decent voice acting. It's like does a really smart thing where like because they couldn't afford like they have voice actors but they don't have like actors in front of a screen, like they don't have that kind of a budget except for like a few things, right? Like there's this whole thing of like stuff happening in the background of city council meetings that are being broadcasted on local public access TV. Right. And the way they get that across is using stock footage of city council meetings from public access TV in the 1980s, and then having it be that like it's two people having a conversation near the camera person. So it's like a hot mic picked them up, right?
Okay.
Smart, like a smart way to work around your budgetary and time limitations. And it was good. I enjoyed it a lot. It's kind of spooky, it's got a little bit of spookiness. It's just like that kind of fun way to kill an evening sort of thing where you're bored and just clicking things on YouTube. And then the other thing is impossible to look up on YouTube. So you have to get it through, you have to find the link through the horror YouTuber Nightmind.
Okay.
He did a video about it, but the problem, it's a series of short Japanese horror videos that are dubbed into English, or not dubbed, subbed into English. Unfortunately, they're called Q.
Oh, okay. So
it's impossible.
So you can't really search for that, then.
Impossible. It's called Fake Documentary Q.
Okay.
So, literally impossible to look up on YouTube. So my best suggestion for you is to find the video that Nightmind did about it. He did it really recently. Like that's he only talked about 2 videos, and I thought it sounded really interesting, so I went and watched all of them. They're spooky. But like it's just like each are little short spooky horror stories that, are handheld camera, found footage type things. And they're all good. They're just little spooky stories. But the problem is that again, impossible to look up. So you have to go to Nightmind and then click the link from there, because otherwise you can't look up. You can't look up the words Q documentary on YouTube. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
right? So,
unless you want to get a bunch of videos about our favorite Street Fighter 3 character.
That's correct.
That's what you'll find, yes.
That's what I want, is a documentary about that cube. Please, that sounds great. Oops. But yeah, no, also extremely good, spooky. I just like watching scary stuff all the time. I can't help myself. So, but that's it. That's all I did.
Well, if you like scary things, our first news article is something for you.
Tell me.
RIP, new PS5 VR horror game that makes things scarier if you blink.
Oh!
So, PSVR 2 has eye tracking.
Ooh!
And as such, now games that come out for it can do things like only show things in the peripheral of your vision.
Okay.
Or have things change when your eyes close.
Oh, that's a shame. I mean, that's cool, but the problem is that PSVR 2 is extremely expensive.
Yeah.
It's like, I think it's like $500 just for PSVR 2, right?
Yeah, it's like the price of a full console.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I really want that, but I have an Oculus. I haven't even hooked my Oculus up yet. Oops. And it's like, the PSVR 2 appeals to me because it's such a simple hookup. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's literally one cable.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah, it's like black magic, right? Because it's literally just the one cord connected from the headset. I think it's from the headset to the console, and like that's it. And everything else is wireless, which is just like, what? How? Yeah. I assume it's through extremely clever usage of gyroscopes and stuff and eye tracking and things like that. But yeah, no. And that sounds great, except for the part where it's, I could buy a second PS5 with that. Oops.
The game is called Switchback VR.
Okay.
And it is coming out March 16th.
Man, that sounds cool, though. I would love to play that.
Yeah, that's a very, that's like, when you play like Astrobot's Playground on the PS5, and you're like, oh my god, this is what the controller can do now?
Yeah, that's really cool. I would love to play that.
Yeah.
I don't have that kind of money. Sony, why is your shit so expensive these days? I ain't paying $70 for a Last of Us remake.
I know.
You're insane.
I know. The thing is, every time I see like a VR trailer for something cool, I'm like, well, I can't play it.
Yep. It's like, okay, well, I guess that's just not for me. I'm just not rich enough to be able to enjoy that spectrum of the video game universe. Okay. I guess I'll die now.
Next, legendary Calvin and Hobbes creator is back with Storybook for Adults after 28 years away.
What an insane thing to like wake up to is like, yeah, Bill Watterson is making a thing, and you're like, like who? Yeah. What do you mean? No. What?
When I saw this, I saw like a new horror fantasy novel by Bill Watterson. I'm like, that's the same name as the Calvin and Hobbes guy.
What do you mean it's the Calvin and Hobbes guy? He doesn't do things anymore.
He's in a cabin in the woods, isolated from anything connected to electricity.
That's correct.
He doesn't know what a fucking internet is.
He does not know how the internet functions. I don't think Bill Watterson knows how the internet works. So I don't know how anybody got a hold of him in order to make this happen, but like, good for him. I will be getting this just because it's the first thing from the guy who made fucking Calvin and Hobbes in 28 years.
The guy who wrote one of the most defining comics of my life, one of the most defining pieces of literature of my life. Yeah, I'm definitely going to read his new book.
Yeah, I'm going to read his new spooky graphic novel. Yeah, of course.
Like, Bill Watterson is the opposite of Gary Larson. In which Gary Larson discovered what tablets are, he's like, I could just make comics again.
I love that, by the way. It's like, drawing can be fun again. I see.
Quote from the article, according to the book's publisher, Simon & Schuster, the two artists have been working on the book for years in unusually close collaboration, with them trying out new ways to work and create images, calling the whole process mysterious in its own right. Bill
Larson, what did you do to this man?
What are you guys up to?
Are you just... I'm sure it's very passionate. You know what? Yeah. Good for him. Good for him.
The book is called The Mysteries, and the synopsis from the article, quote, in a fable for grown-ups by cartoonist Bill Watterson, a long-ago kingdom is afflicted with inexplicable calamities. Mm-hmm. Hoping to end the torment, the king dispatches his knights to discover the source of mysterious events. Years later, a single battered knight returns.
Ooh. That sounds good. I'm excited.
The artwork from John Kascht, I think.
How's it spelled?
Kascht.
Kasche.
I think Kascht.
Kascht? I don't know. Sorry.
The art looks incredible.
Yeah, I'm interested in the fact that it's Bill Watterson not doing the art, but the art looks really good from what I've seen of it. So like, I don't mind. But yeah, no, this is just, I mean, like, the very fact that it's a Bill Watterson thing. Yeah. After 28 years. Like, yeah, of course I'm going to get it. Duh.
Of course, obviously.
Duh. That's a no-brainer. So, yeah.
Next, One Piece's long-lost Dragon Ball Z crossover episode is finally coming to America.
Wow.
Also, Toriko is there.
Oh no.
But no one cares about that.
No one cares about Toriko. I'm sorry.
This like big crossover thing, because I remember like when it was like airing in Japan, and it was like the big deal. It's like, oh, it's One Piece of Dragon Ball Z and Toriko. It's finally like crossing over.
Nobody cares about Toriko.
Toriko was just the definition of bro thinks he's on the team.
Yeah. That guy who's broke as fuck but still tells you to get wings when you're ordering pizza.
Yeah. Exactly. But it's finally being dubbed into English, probably because Funimation finally looked at their list and went, "Oh, we have both of these.
Oh, that's right. We own both of these. We can do this.
We can actually dub this. Oh, okay, that's right. Yeah,
that's free money at this point. Okay.
Yeah, the whole article like barely even mentions the fact that Toriko is in it.
Yeah, because who fucking cares?
Who gives a shit about that?
Who gives a fuck?
Next, the world's biggest charity speedrunning event just banned Hogwarts Legacy.
Yay! Eat shit, TERFs. No one cares about your bad video game.
So, like I mentioned in the start of this, like, I've been practicing to see if I could, potentially be, good enough to submit something. So I looked at, what the requirements were, and it's like, oh, here's a list of games that are not allowed at GDQ. And it's like, for one thing, anything that's banned by Twitch.
Sure.
And adult only games, hentai games, unofficial fan titles that aren't authorized or contain content that isn't appropriate for streaming.
Sure.
And then every Harry Potter game. All of that.
Oh, that owns. That rules.
Just every single Harry Potter game is off the list.
No TERFs allowed at GDQ. Fuck you.
And then also on that list is any Five Nights at Freddy's game.
Eat shit, Scott Cawthorn, you fucking hack. There's another hack and a fraud. Okay. Yeah. Awesome.
Also on the list, 2005's God of War, like the original God of War, because of the sex minigame.
That makes sense.
Ion Fury, because of the homophobic content that they didn't patch out.
That's right.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
That's right. That's a shame. That was a game I really wanted to play, and then it turned out the devs were also freaks.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, never mind. Okay. Because, I love me a boomer shooter, but no.
Mm-hmm. And then the weirdest one on that list is Frog Fractions.
Hello?
Which I guess there is some content in there that is not appropriate.
Frog Fractions?
Nothing offensive, not anything phobic in any way. Mm-hmm. But just adult content or adult situation type thing.
Frog Fractions?
I don't know.
Okay, sure.
But it's on the list, and it's like, but I read that and I'm like, you know what? That's fair. There's probably something in there that's not appropriate for GDQ.
Who knows? Maybe there's something really horrible. It sounds like a math game.
Oh, you don't know what frog fractions is?
No.
Oh my god. We should do an episode on frog fractions.
Hello? What is frog fractions? It sounds like a fucking math game.
It is a math game. And then there's more.
I see. Okay. All right, we will do an episode on frog fractions.
Remember when we did Buddy Simulator?
Oh, yeah.
It's like that.
I see.
The other thing I'll tell you is that Frog Fractions 2 lets you import your Mass Effect 2 save data.
Huh? What?
And that's all I'll tell you about Frog Fractions.
Excuse me?
We should do an episode on Frog Fractions.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I will.
We'll have to plan that out. Yeah, that would be good. That would be really good, though.
Okay. I had no idea. I had never heard of it.
Either that or we should stream it. Actually, you know what? We should stream it because you need to get your reactions live to what Frog Fractions is.
Okay, that sounds like a good idea. Look forward to that at some point in the near future because I would love to know what the fuck this is.
Yeah,
because I had no idea. Because you're saying Frog Fractions, like what is this? Like a 9? Because it's like all those educational games that you played in the 90s on your mom's computer, or at least on my mom's computer. Like
the only games allowed on your school computers.
Yeah, that and Oregon Trail and Quake. We had Quake on my school computers because I had a cool school. But yeah, no, okay.
Yes, absolutely. I didn't know you didn't know what Frog Fractions was. This is
exciting now.
I'm really excited now. I can't wait for you to play
podcast. I see.
But yeah, it's very cool for GDQ to be like, no Harry Potter at all.
No TERFs. No TERFs allowed. Fuck you.
The reason why AGDQ was digital only was because the place that they would have had it at was in Florida.
That's right. I remember. And then all that shit happened. Yeah, the various and sundry laws got passed. Yeah.
Yeah, and so they're like, we are not going to participate in that. We're not going to. I think their official statement was like, we're not going to have our audience put themselves in that situation to want to fly down here.
Sure, exactly. Or make your runners have to, go down there. Yeah, absolutely.
And so, like, there was enough time to book another place, so they're like, well, it'll be digital only, and then the summer games done quick will be done live in Minnesota, I think.
That's right, because it's really close to you. That's part of the thing is that it's like super close to you this year.
Yeah, so I might, even if I don't run, I might volunteer again. I don't know. I have to plot out how much time off I have.
Yeah, I would go, but unfortunately, I have a bunch of trips already planned this year. So
but it's still very cool. Next, Read Only Memories Neurodiver launches Q3 2023.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
I'm excited. Yeah.
I really, really liked Read Only Memories. It is so, looking at the synopsis of it from the article, quote, filled with friendly and familiar faces, including Jesmius, the gene-spliced hybrid lawyer, Tomcat, the notorious hacker, and Lexi Rivers.
Okay,
so, cool. Yeah, it'll have those characters in it. And I like those characters.
I'm looking forward to it. I like Read Only Memories a lot, yeah.
I didn't know that was coming this year, so cool.
I had a brief moment where you said that, though, because I've been thinking about the Daft Punk album Random Access Memories a lot. Because it's 10 years old this year, because we're ancient.
Yeah. And you were like, they retired, though.
They stopped. They quit. Had a very brief moment where I was like, oh, okay. Now I know what he's talking about. Yes. Yeah. I'm
next, Multiverse's daily peak Steam player count dropped more than 99% since launch. Oof.
Yeah. Oof. Roblox oof.mp3. Yeah.
That's rough.
Not everybody can be Smash Bros.
No, but I was actually kind of hoping multiverses could like persist and be like, you know, a big contender.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's a WB Smash Bros. When WB is so like reviled now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, why would you spend that money? Or,
right.
I guess it's free, but there's still stuff you have to spend money on in the game. Like,
yeah.
Nah.
The last character was 3 months ago, and it was Marvin the Martian.
Yeah, no, that shit's dead, fam.
That's a bummer.
Nope.
Oops.
You fucked it up again.
Good news though.
Mm-hmm.
Chrono Cross remaster update coming later this month promises frame rate improvements.
Oh, thank God! Now I can finally play that fucking remaster.
I know.
I have been putting it off until they fixed everything wrong with it. Because the way it launched, it had a bunch wrong with it, and it broke my heart because it's Chrono Cross.
The update. The quote from the update from the Chrono Cross Twitter account. The update includes a wide range of changes such as frame rate improvements, changes to the growth system for Pip, and fixes for other bugs.
Okay, cool.
So
absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, so good. Now I can play it.
Yeah, because the frame rate, especially the frame rate problem, is like a huge killer for me. It's like, no, I can't. Like, I already played that game at bad frame rate in the 90s.
Right.
And even then, it didn't have, like, bad frame rate. It just had PS1 frame rate, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm good. I don't want to do that ever again. I love that game. I want it to play well.
Yeah, I want it to get the respect it deserves.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, Chrono Cross, absolutely. Once that is fixed, maybe we can finally do a fucking Chrono Cross
Yeah, because I'll be able to actually play it. So, yay.
Play Chrono Cross is so fucking good. Nobody else thinks that but me, but I think it's amazing.
I will definitely play it.
And you can get really mad at it, and we'll talk about it on a podcast together about how angry it makes you.
I will do my hardest to also not look at guides, because otherwise I'm just going to be trapped in unlocking characters forever.
Yeah, that's fair. I think it's okay. Now, granted, I still, and I think I talked about it here, I still own my old paper, like my actual physical Chrono Cross guide from back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And when we were doing I was doing like a replay of it fairly recently. When you were doing a replay of it and then decided to stop because like it's like, oh, the remaster is coming, you know, we'll play that instead. And I was playing it and flipping through that guide occasionally. It's like, that guide still works, baby.
Yeah.
That old Prima Games guide is still a perfectly valid way to get through Chrono Cross. Although it will make you insane because you will stop constantly to try and recruit characters. There's 28 of them.
That my problem was that like when I was playing it like on my own, I was like, what did I just pick up? What is this thing? And then I look at it, it's like, well, this is step 1 in a 15-part quest to unlock this character. And I went,
that's right.
Oh, fuck. Okay. All right.
I'm insane about it. No, the only thing I'll tell you about Chrono Cross is that when Kid gets poisoned, don't save her.
Don't save Kid.
And I know that feels counterintuitive, but it's the only way to get Glenn.
Yeah, don't save Kid. She'll be fine.
Kid. She'll be fine. Don't worry about it. There's a little mysterious thing to it, but you've got an option to save Kid or not save Kid. Don't save Kid. Mm-hmm. I know you're going to want to because she's cute and charming and she's plot important and she's like the main character's kind of girlfriend maybe. Don't do it. Don't
worry about it.
Don't do it. Get Glenn instead. Glenn is good because then you'll eventually be in the end game and you'll have Kid and Glenn on the same party and it's like,
that's so fucking cool.
That's good.
Yeah. Next, Shinji Mikami is leaving Tango Gameworks.
Shinji Mikami put out like one of the best character action games ever and saw Tango Gameworks make a bunch of money. I was like, all right, I'm out.
All right, I'm done.
I'm retiring now. It's like, what the fuck? Okay. Good for him.
Yeah.
He's earned it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, and he only produced Hi-Fi Rush. Like, he's not the director of Hi-Fi Rush. He's just a producer. And it's cool of him that this game comes out and is a hit. by all accounts, it's a huge hit for everybody. And he's just like, okay, well, I guess I can retire in peace now.
He just dusts his hands.
Peaced out. I know that Ghostwire Tokyo was also not a complete flop for them either. Like, It actually... I mean, the final product did not look that interesting to me. It looked a little too much like an Ubisoft game.
Mm-hmm.
But I also know it didn't flop. Like, it was financially successful by all accounts. So, okay, cool. You know? Yeah, so I'm glad that Tango is in a decent place.
Yeah. Quote from the article. Last year, Mikami reiterated this goal in a discussion with Resident Evil Village producer Jun Takeuchi, in which he said, "Something else I want to do is make my own game, to make another game. Right now we're slowly preparing for that, and to make it work, I get to give all the annoying jobs to someone else to handle."
King. That's what happens when you get old and become a beloved industry veteran.
Yeah.
You get to hand all the annoying shit off to somebody else.
The list of games that Tango King Works has made is great, though. It's Evil Within, Evil Within 2, Ghostwire Tokyo, Hero Dice, and Hi-Fi Rush.
What a bizarre...
There's a reason why the Hi-Fi Rush trailer was, from the makers of Evil Within and Evil Within 2. No, really.
No, really. Yeah, we promise. I would like to get another Evil Within game, though. Yeah. That'd be really cool, guys.
It would. Well, I mean, they can do it without him.
Yeah, no, it's fine if they do it without him. I love the Evil Within references in Hi-Fi Rush, by the way.
Yeah.
Cute. I'm glad.
So good for him. Good for him getting out while the getting's good.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling that he's not gonna be done with video games. He's gonna keep popping up like a weird Uncle Pennybags.
Sure, yeah, he'll kind of pop up every now and then and be like an executive producer on such and such game.
We'll be
with Swery.
Yeah, well, he did, didn't he?
No, did he?
Yeah.
Which one?
Shadows of the Damned.
No, that's not.
Or that's Suda. Yeah.
That's Suda. Yeah, that's not Swery. Yeah.
He should make a game with Swery, though. Yeah,
he should make a game with Swery. Yeah, square that circle, you know?
Yeah. The three of them.
Yes, that sounds great.
Suda and Swery are already teaming up for that one game.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Absolutely.
Yeah, we need Suderi 651 produced by Shinji Mikami.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next, translator resigns from Cypher Academy manga, citing translation difficulty.
Yeah, translation difficulty, aka it's impossible to translate.
Literally impossible.
This is by the Bakemonogatari guy, if I'm correct. It's the Bakemonogatari guy. The author who makes the manga, right? Mm-hmm. And so it relies extremely heavily on Japanese wordplay and puzzles and shit like that. So there are literally dozens of ways to translate some, and each of those translations is valid. Yeah. Right? All of them are correct is the thing. It's playing off of Japanese, how the Japanese language is written and spoken. Mm-hmm. And so because of that, and the whole crux of it is that because all of these different translations are valid, you have to take all of them into account. Basically, it is impossible. It's not impossible to translate, but for the kind of time and money that would require it, it's impossible to translate. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. It's like saying we have created this manga that is all about color theory. Mm-hmm. And we're making an audio drama about it.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't work.
It's impossible. Yeah. Yeah. So it's you could do it, but the time scale that the translate each chapter takes months. Mm-hmm. Right? And this translator is expected to get this out quickly. Yeah. And of course, these days all manga translators officially are vastly underpaid, of course. Right. So the amount of time given for the job versus the amount of money being paid for the job, the translator's just no, I'm out. I'm done. I can't do this.
It's just that Mojo Jojo bit where he's I'm done. I quit. I give up. I tried. I really tried, but I quit. I give up.
Yeah.
You win.
You win. I'm done. Yeah, no. Huge fucking mess, but like, very funny story.
Yeah. Just like it's not just like, oh, the original author of the manga like uses a lot of Japanese wordplay and it's very creative with their language. It's about this thing.
That's what it's about. Like, that is the plot of the story. It's like a shonen series, basically, where the crux revolves around Japanese wordplay as like the hook of the plot. Like, it's not just like a one-off, like every now and then a couple bubbles are hard to translate. Right. Every single page is like that.
You know, because you'll read a series where like a character's name is like can be read two ways, so it's like a joke, you know, about like that. This is every single line. Like, I saw a page of it and like I had to lay down.
Yeah, like your eyes cross, because like I think the way and I just saw this, you know, via Twitter, but like the way the translator handled it was that in certain parts of the story there were multiple versions of the same panel to be read, right? Because they're all valid. So each panel had to be like reoriented and like translated out in different ways. And it's like, no, I'm sorry.
No.
You can 100% translate this manga.
Yeah.
It will cost $150,000 a year.
Right. Yeah. So, no, there's no way you can get it out in a timely manner.
Right.
With the amount of effort that needs to go into making sure each line of dialogue reads correctly.
Yeah, it's crazy to me.
So, yeah.
I don't blame the guy.
I don't blame him at all.
I don't blame him at all.
It's one of those things where I'm like, you see like those chuds on Twitter who are always like, localizers take things too far, blah, blah, etc. I'm like, all right, fine. Learn Japanese, then go read Cypher Academy.
Yeah, have fun, fucker. Asshole. Yeah, absolutely. No, it's deranged. There's a reason I never learned Japanese. I'm sorry. I tried to. No. Folks, no. It's not going to happen. I don't have that kind of brain.
Speaking of brainless.
Oh, no.
Sony State of Play, February 2023. Oof. Everything announced.
Oh, it was rough, folks. I turned it off. I started it and turned it off.
There was literally only like two things on this that got me excited.
Capcom's back has got to hurt from carrying all these State of Plays, right? Like,
so let's get the bigger one out of the way. They spent 15 to 20 minutes talking about Kill the Justice League.
Oh, and it looks so bad.
So Sarah, who's your favorite DC villain in this? Is it woman with gun? Is it shark with gun? Is it Australian with gun? Or is it gun with gun?
His name is Captain fucking Boomerang!
He's Captain Boomerang!
It's literally his fucking name is Captain Boomerang! What do you mean he's using a gun? What? You fucking hacks!
You have a dude who's a giant shark!
And you're just like, no, give him guns. Just give them all guns. It's that one old PlayStation 4 E3 announcement where it's like, what evils lurk beyond these thick it's guns. It's just guns. It's just guns. Yeah.
Fucking even Avengers, the characters in Avengers play different. They had different things.
It's incredible. It's just everybody gets gun. It's the most like creatively. This is what Rocksteady has been working on for like 6 years.
I know.
This is what they've produced. The most generic live service game you've ever seen in your entire life.
The most annoying thing is that like Arkham Knight also had a ton of playable characters, and they all felt different.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like Batman, like you play as Batman, and Batman's whole thing is like he has like the gliding cape, right? Mm-hmm. Well, Nightwing and Catwoman don't have capes, so they can't do the glide thing. They have other ways to maneuver around.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it feels different. Like there's things that each character has that makes them special.
I know. I'm sorry, Ben. I'm sorry. It just looks so bad. Like, and it's really funny to me. I'm really glad to like the degree of backlash. Like, I've seen some people kind of interested in it, but even like the people who are kind of interested in it, it's not like hype. It's just like, oh, okay, that looks kind of neat.
Yeah.
Like, and then, but for the most part, everybody's looking at this game like, oh, it's just Destiny again. You just stop making Destiny.
Get 12% damage boost on aerial enemies.
Yeah.
With this purple assault rifle.
Mean? Like, what does any of that mean? Like, what does any of this matter? Like, how dull and boring and uninspired of game design decisions do you have to make to end up here?
I know
part of it is just that, like, Sony is on this deranged push for live service, but the whole industry is making this push.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, this sucks. It looks so bad. It looks so bland and uninspired and ugly and just boring.
Mm-hmm.
His name is fucking Captain Boomerang.
I've seen people who were like, "Oh, what does he expect to use a boomerang against the Flash? What does he expect a gun to work on the Flash?
A gun is not going to work on the Flash." But everyone's like, "We can use a gun on the use the fucking boomerang.
Use the boomerang."
It's just tragic. It's bad, folks. It's bad.
Everything about it just looked so. It just had that thing of just like, we put a bunch of special effects over the gameplay.
Yeah.
But it's all like, it's the same. Everyone plays the exact same.
Everybody plays the exact same. Yeah. No, It looks awful.
Like, why does Harley have a drone that she can like grapple off of?
I don't know.
Like, what part of Harley Quinn tells you that would be a thing she has?
A drone. Yeah.
It's so like, it's embarrassing, kind of.
It is extremely embarrassing. Yeah, it's like, this is what Rocksteady has been making for 6 years.
They were
right.
They were really, really good with the Arkham games, and they were absolutely solid, like, action games.
And now they're pulled into the fucking Destiny clone live service mines, never to be seen again. And
they were talking about, like, we're going to add new characters in DLC, and, like, expansions. Like, well, that just tells me, like, that's even more evidence that every character is going to play the same.
Yeah, exactly. If you're just going to keep adding characters like that, there's nothing, like, unique about any of them, right?
Right.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no, I'm just, like, everything I see about this game just looks more and more disappointing to me.
It just looks bad. Yeah, it looks ugly and boring and bland and uninspired and extremely low effort.
Yeah.
Unlike Street Fighter 6 that continues to look fucking sick.
Unlike Street Fighter 6, which fucking looks amazing. Holy shit!
See, Street Fighter 6, every time something new about Street Fighter 6 comes out, it's like, holy shit, this looks amazing. Love that the leaked roster is just real. So it's just launching with a shit ton of characters then.
Yeah. Oh my, Zangief is enormous.
Zangief is enormous and horrifying to behold in like realistic 3D graphics.
I know.
Extremely unsettling man to like lay your eyes on. But yeah, the new character looks cute. Cammy looks great.
Cammy's design is fucking stellar. She's like one of my favorites so far.
She looks so good. Yeah, no. So good.
Lily is incredible though.
Mm-hmm.
What a fantastic looking character. All the new characters so far.
Designs are great. Yeah, like all the new characters look great. All the returning characters' new designs look great. Like the whole aesthetic of the game itself just looks amazing. It's so polished and clean and fun and bright and unique. Like everything that fucking Suicide Squad kills the Justice League is not, right?
Right. Capcom was so smart to be like, every returning character gets a redesign.
Everybody gets a new look. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Even Ryu, Ken, and Chun-Li get new looks now.
They finally get new looks after 100 years. Cammy gets a new look finally. Mm-hmm. She doesn't have the pigtails anymore. She's got like the cool short hair. She looks great. Like
the jacket.
All of the new designs look great. Yeah.
So fucking cool looking. And then they also showed off RE4 stuff.
Yes.
Which
tentatively excited about it still. It's just I have such a soft spot for the original. So
I'm very excited for it. Everything I've seen about it, like from what I've seen, like even people talking about, like things are like expanded. They're adding like a whole bunch of more stuff, especially with Luis.
Thank God. Oh, Luis, I love.
The fight with Krauser is now a fight. It's not like a quick time thing.
It's not just quick time thing. That's cool. It's like a real fight. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah. Just in general, I think it looks good. I just, I have such a soft spot for the original that I'm still just like, we'll see when it comes out. I'm sure it'll be fine. We'll see.
It's coming out in it's end of March.
Okay.
So.
Wow, that's so close.
I know.
What the fuck? Oh my God. Oh God, it's so close.
I know. They also showed off Baldur's Gate 3.
Okay.
Destiny 2 stuff. Speaking of Destiny.
Oh yeah.
They showed off Destiny and then spent 15 minutes talking about Destiny again.
Oh, whoops. Yeah, it's incredible how like Destiny 2 is by all accounts just like fine. It's serviceable. And it just ruined the entire industry.
Yeah.
Like, and it didn't mean to. It was just successful. It was like a live service game. It found its niche, and it was like, okay, Bungie was like, yeah, we're gonna play to our strengths. We're gonna do this niche. We're gonna make money and be able to maintain the studio. And every single publisher in the world was like, okay, but we want one of our own. And it just completely wrecked the fucking industry for like the last 4 or 5 years, and we're only maybe starting to crawl out of the hole now. We'll see.
It's like the opposite, or not the opposite, but like the continuation of like back in PS2 era where everything needed to be GTA 3.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing. Yeah, of course. It's publishers chasing trends. Yeah, of course. But
this is much worse because like it's plaguing the industry in a way that's like has to be persistent.
Yeah, it won't die, right? Like the thing about like a GTA clone is that fine, it's a GTA clone. The game comes out and it's done, and then you never think about it again if it's not good, right?
Yeah.
This is by its nature a persistent live service game. So it's just endless.
Yeah, they're intending for it to last several years, yeah.
Yeah, that's awful.
Humanity also got shown off.
Okay.
Humanity, have you seen the weird puzzle game?
No.
It is a Lemmings type game where you lead a bunch of human-shaped people around like an environment to like guide them to a goal.
Huh.
And then it turns on the Nier Automata halfway through the trailer.
Oh.
And I go, what is happening?
Interesting. I need to watch that trailer.
Yeah, you should. It's very interesting. We saw Cha again. Can that game just come out, please? The Wind Waker.
Oh yeah, that game looks cute.
It does look cute, but it needs to come out so I can stop seeing it in every show.
Yeah, it's one of those games that just I needed to come out so I can. It's like Deathloop. It looks cute. I needed to come out so I could stop seeing it and I see something new instead. And
then in this week's award for Thought You Died, Goodbye Volcano High got a trailer.
What?
Yeah.
Wow, I thought that shit was dead as fuck.
Yeah.
Okay. Does it still look insufferable?
Yes.
Oh, of course. Well,
of course it does. Obviously. Like, it didn't fix it or anything.
They didn't fix it or anything. No, they just kind of like stuck it on a shelf for a while until people stopped thinking about it. And now they're being reminded of it again. Okay, sure, why not? That is a game I will not be playing. Absolutely not.
No, I will not be playing that.
It looks like the most annoying video game ever made. No, thank you.
And was that it? I think that was it. They showed some VR stuff.
Sure. Can't afford it.
And and that's about it. They showed off. They're just so instead of doing a thing where they release like a whole bunch of the games as a collection. It looks like they're just combining all of the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storms into one game.
I mean, those games are all the exact same, so that makes sense, you know?
So, just do one with the entire roster.
It's every single character who's ever been in Naruto, including, like, bit characters who have been in, like, 2 panels, right? Like, that's it. It's
the Smash Ultimate, everyone is here, but it's Naruto.
Naruto's mom is gonna be in it. That's it.
They're putting Boruto's dad, Naruto, in it.
Oh, God.
Next, Turbo Teabags after every win. This random anonymous player is showing no mercy towards Mortal Kombat pros.
Fantastic. This guy's my hero.
I love this. This is Let Me Solo Her, but for Mortal Kombat.
Let me solo you.
Yeah.
Instead.
An anonymous player known only as Arena is Free is absolutely devastating the online tournament Rips Arena.
So funny.
So the thing that's crazy about him is I watched a couple of their matches. Not only are they just absolutely crushing every player they go up against, they're playing as different characters.
Yeah, no. It's not that they just mastered, like, one character to become unstoppable.
Yeah.
They're cycling through lots of characters, and they're good with all of them.
Yeah.
And they're just washing people whose job it is to play Mortal Kombat. Incredible. Just my hero.
Astonishing. It's one of those, like, weird, like, video game cryptids that show up.
Yeah, exactly.
Just fantastic. Like, I would highly recommend anyone, like, go check out these fights, because they are, like, it's not, like I said, it's not like, oh, they're winning and, like, they're just really good. Like, they are destroying their opponents.
Dominating. Yeah, no, it's extremely funny, making them look like clowns.
Yeah, one of the matches I watched was him as Joker against someone playing as Jade, and he just went like 3-0. Just
amazing.
Crushed him. Didn't even give him a chance.
People whose whole job is to do this, right? Amazing. Fantastic.
Like, these are like pros of Mortal Kombat.
So funny to me. Just to be just like this mysterious person who shows up and washes everybody and leaves. Teabags everybody and then leaves.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Phenomenal.
Who are you, mystery player? I love you.
Who are you? Arena is Free.
It's the modern it's the DB Cooper of our time.
And then finally, Beyond Good and Evil 2 studio head no longer at Ubisoft. Oh, okay.
It's over. Joarita! Oh, Joe, it's over! Yeah, no, I mean, it's been over for a while. So, like, with every passing roundup, it becomes more and more likely that my prediction of Ubisoft yard sale coming true. Right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, everything is just, nothing's coming out. I mean, like, Beyond Good and Evil 2 was never going to come out, right? Like, that was a given. You and I both know we're not stupid. But, like, it is extremely funny, right? That it's just like an endless parade of cock-ups.
Yeah.
Of people leaving, and now it's just like, okay, well, Beyond Good and Evil 2 is just never coming out. Skull and Bones is just never coming out. Does Ubisoft even have anything?
Assassin's Creed stuff, maybe?
But they haven't even announced a new Assassin's Creed yet.
I guess,
like, they don't have anything coming out. I assume, like, some Tom Clancy shit, maybe. But, like, that's it.
Some Division stuff, maybe, at some point, but
it's bad, folks. It's bad. We're watching, like, it's incredible to watch, like, a huge company like Ubisoft just dissolve like this, right? Because that doesn't usually happen. Like, it's actually pretty rare. It's like the modern game industry.
Yeah, it's rare for it to happen in this specific way, in which they just are slowly declining,
just disintegrating, right?
Usually it's they get bought out and the parent company sends them to the free-to-play mines, you know?
Sure, absolutely.
Or they just, like, something catastrophic happens and the game just vanishes, right?
Sure, or they declare bankruptcy. Like, a huge flop happens and they declare bankruptcy and then have to sell off their properties. Kind of like what happened to like Acclaim and stuff like that, right? Or like THQ.
The company itself is not big enough to sustain a failure, you know?
Right, exactly. And like, so to have this kind of like slow whittling death of like a major publisher.
They used to be one of the biggest names in the industry.
Yeah, like absolutely. These are the people who made Assassin's Creed, which is still like a massive franchise just off of like cultural purchase, right?
Yeah.
To like have a publisher like that just like fall apart very slowly is so like, it is so interesting because you can tell it is 100% a result of brain drain. Like after the whole Ubisoft really didn't get punished very hard for all of its like various and sundry like harassment litigations in Europe and specifically in France, like not a lot happened there, and all of the people responsible didn't have to step down. And so people just left Ubisoft, right? Like people left the company in droves. And you really can see the exact moment the brain drain starts because suddenly stuff just stops happening for them, right? It's amazing.
Like they just started, they lost anything that put an ounce of creativity in their product and just started being the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like,
I just think about how like they used to be one of the most important names in the industry.
Sure, I mean they had like big titles coming out every single year, and they were financially successful. I mean, like they weren't. I don't think Ubisoft's ever had like really good video games since like Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, right? But like they were successful. I played Far Cry 4 a lot. I enjoyed it. They were putting games out and people were buying and playing them, and now their entire release schedule has just like vanished. Right? Incredible.
Like I would say like between like Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time and like Brotherhood, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, they were one of the best names in the industry.
Sure, absolutely. They were putting out quality stuff consistently, and they were making money over fist.
And then, they hit that point where, like you said, the brain drain, where they just became a monetization company.
Sure.
And now they're not even that.
Now they're not even putting games out at all.
Yeah.
They're just, like, stuck in these holding patterns where nothing is getting made and nobody really knows what any of their games should be. And it's a very unique case study to kind of see a company collapse in this kind of slow but still very dramatic kind of way.
It's like a natural decline, and you never see that in this industry.
It's so usually things are so much more dramatic than this, and it's just like, no, it's like a slow, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of the year they're selling off their catalog. I'm sure a huge portion of their catalog is going to get Embracer grouped, right?
Yeah, probably.
Like Embracer will absolutely roll in and buy
Embrace.
They'll get embraced, as they say.
Yeah.
And they'll swoop in and they'll buy Assassin's Creed and their various properties like that. Yeah, no. I would not be surprised at all if Ubisoft has like kind of a catastrophic collapse this year.
I'm just picturing that Doge meme of him like in the apocalypse setting where it's like, guys, I don't think the Prince of Persia remake is coming out.
No, that game is dead as fuck. And that's really interesting too. Like the fact that the Prince of Persia remake just vanished.
Yeah.
Right? Like literally just vanished. It had an announcement, and then it had like a proper trailer, and everybody saw the trailer and went, "Ooh, this looks bad." And then like
and then they apologized and took it away.
Apologized, and then it was just gone. Right? Like that's even crazy to me that they never even tried to put that shit out.
Yeah.
After the initial, like they didn't wait 6 months until all the negative hype had died down and then put out a bad remake.
Yeah.
They just obliterated it. They Thanos snapped that shit. You know what I mean? Like it's just gone.
The fact that you can't even put out a remake of a PS2 game means you're in trouble.
You're having some extremely bad times at Ubisoft.
Not even like trilogy remake. It's just the first one.
Game. It's just the first game. Yeah, no, it's amazing.
You can't even manage that, for fuck's sake. Like, Naughty Dog could put the Jack trilogy on like a PS5.
Yeah. Oh no, no. So yeah, Ubisoft. Like I said, if Ubisoft lasts a year, I'll be impressed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It's like we joked about a couple months ago. Nintendo just like taking Rayman in and be like, "Shh, it's okay. You're safe now.
It's okay, baby. We got you. Look. We'll put the rabbits in their own video game, and you'll get to be in your own video game again, and everything will be okay." And then Rayman will be like, "It's been so long."
Rayman.
I don't even know how to be a platform character anymore.
Sonic like walking up to Rayman. It's like, "Shh, it's okay. They know what they're doing.
They got you, baby. It's all right." Rayman's sitting on the back of an ambulance with like one of those panic blankets over his shoulder,
over his shoulders,
his torso.
Yeah.
Somebody bringing him a cup of hot chocolate. It's like, it'll be okay, man. We're gonna get you in touch with a therapist. You'll be all right. You'll get through this. God Almighty. Oh,
that's exactly what it's gonna be.
Yeah, no. It's gonna be like a house fire where like they're just rescuing people from the blaze. Sam Fisher's gonna come stumbling out like, I couldn't save any of them. It's just the guys from Rainbow Six.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. No, maybe we'll finally get a fucking... I pray for Ubisoft's collapse so that maybe we'll get a goddamn Splinter Cell game again.
I don't know if that can happen, because I'm pretty sure if Ubisoft stops making them, Tom Clancy games just evaporate.
They might just stop existing. Yeah, that's true. Like, nobody else really wants the Tom Clancy license.
Yeah.
I don't know. Siege is like it's a popular ongoing kind of esports game. I'm sure somebody will snatch up the, EA will snatch up the fucking rights to Tom Clancy game. I mean, that means that we won't get another Splinter Cell game, but
I would laugh my ass off if, when all is said and done, Microsoft just buys Ubisoft, no problem.
That would be really funny. I think it would be funny if the fucking if the Activision deal just completely falls through. Right? Because they're like, no, that's monopolizing the market. Mm-hmm. And Microsoft's like, well, fine, we're just gonna fucking buy Ubisoft. And then like regulators are like, okay, whatever.
The UK is like, that's okay.
Acceptable.
And they just bang the gavel.
It's not like Ubisoft has any kind of market share now anyways.
They just look over at Ubisoft like hunched in a corner like, yes, that one's fine. You can have this sickly. One.
You can have the sick dog. It's literally like a judge is like, no, you can't buy a dog from a breeder. Go to the fucking pound and get a dog that way. Rescue a dog, but the dog is Ubisoft, right?
Once again, I'm not sure why the UK is just Super Kami Guru in my head, but
that's because they're just as obnoxious and useless.
Yeah,
obviously. This is the second episode we've ended with me dunking on the UK.
It's a tradition.
It won't be the
last. That's a promise.
That's a gorge promise. We're going to keep shitting on the UK until, God willing, that union tears itself asunder.
Your queen is still dead. Alright, that'll do it for us. Thank you to Broke for free for use of background music. You can follow me on Twitter at thegorgepodcast. You can follow Say at radioinactivity. You can email us at thegorgepodcast@gmail.com. And, so what do we got?
Fuck live service games. I'm so tired of them.
You know what? Yeah, that's
it, right? Like, that's gotta be the answer.
Yeah.
That I'm just so fucking tired of live service. The fact that, like, they show that one screenshot of the inventory of Suicide Squad, and it's just got right there in the tabs. It's not even hidden in a menu. Mm-hmm. Battle Pass.
Yeah, Battle Pass.
It's just
I'm so sick of inventory screens. I'm so sick of gear. You know what?
So sick of gear. It's true. We need to return to, to tradition, and all your gear does is raise your strength by 10 points, right?
Yeah, plus 50 attack, not plus 12% damage boost to flying enemies on Tuesday when it's not raining.
Right, no, just give me a straight attack buff and make me choose, maybe make me choose between firing speed and attack buff.
No, yeah, right? No, you know what? No more of this plus 15 to fire damage, negative 12 to cold damage. No more of that. We're fucking done with that, okay? It's better or worse. The end.
That's it. Is there a green plus sign or a red negative sign next to the number?
That's it. That's all you get.
That's all I need to know.
Okay?
Okay?
I don't need any of this min-maxing,
horse
micromanaging bullshit. I guess it gives me plus 15 defense to electric damage, but my mind damage goes down.
What the fuck does any of that mean? Nobody gives a shit. Is it good or is it bad? Give me a simple yes or no answer. Yeah. That's it.
Is it better or worse? That's all I care about.
Because the thing is, with these fucking video games, they all include the same button, which is equip best equipment.
Yeah, optimize.
Fucking Avengers had it, and Suicide Squad's gonna have it too. So who gives a shit? Yeah. Right?
I can't even and this isn't even I can't imagine this Suicide Squad will be like Dark Souls, where min-maxing actually does matter in some situations. Where you have builds, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, who cares?
It matters there because this is an RPG that's about strategy and planning out your move and designing a character. There's no fucking way Suicide Squad's gonna be that.
No, God, no, because they all look look the exact fucking same. Yeah.
I'm not even that much of a DC guy.
No.
Really, but I love the Flash's rogues. I think they are all amazing characters because, you have a guy like Captain Boomerang, you have a guy like the Trickster, you have a guy like Captain Cold, who is this guy in a big blue winter coat and dumb shaders on, and he has a cold gun. And it's not a freeze gun. He doesn't make ice. He robs temperature. Okay?
Yeah, exactly.
That shit's fucking cool.
It's cool. Cool. I get it.
He's an idiot named he's a guy named Leonard Snart, and he dresses like he's going fucking skiing. But he's the most sinister evil guy in the world, and he's one of the most dangerous individuals alive, and he could wipe out everyone, but him and the Flash have a code of honor.
Yeah,
They have this cool, the rogues have this cool respect for the Flash. We're no, we're not ever going to kill a Flash, because if we do, the rest of them are going to kill us.
Yeah, exactly. And we're not fucking stupid.
And they can. If we cross that line, the Flashes will obliterate us. It's not even a contest.
Yeah, no. If you fuck with the Flash, you're just doomed, my man. That's a man who can vibrate his molecules through walls. What the fuck can you do to him? Nothing.
They can turn us into paste before we can blink.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Absolutely not.
We have respect here.
So much wasted potential, but instead we just get Captain Boomerang using a gun.
You're gonna the whole thing about Captain Boomerang is that his boomerangs are super deadly and complicated, and you could build a whole mechanic around him using different boomer. Oh, he's got a gun. Oh, okay.
Oh, it's just guns.
He's just got guns. Can King Shark swim, or maybe he's very strong and can break down walls? Oh, he shoots with a gun.
He shoots a gun. Okay. He just shoots a gun, Ben. Everybody just shoots guns. That's all there is in video games.
So why do you have Deadshot?
Yeah, what's even the purpose?
I know. It's one of those things, the more I think about just
the
how
angrier
bad
you get.
Because I fucking love a lot of the characters in the Arkham games. We're really good versions of those characters. Right, really absolutely. Interesting and involved and complex. And it's oh, you're just
into the live service game minds you go. Yeah, fuck you. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.